Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever managed a server, you know the frustration. Repeatedly typing out those manual SSH commands, digging through old notes for IP addresses, or trying to track down login credentials just to access your own infrastructure. It's tedious. But today, we are going to completely solve that by walking through how to manage hosts in SSH Bridge. We're going to turn that annoying chore into a really simple, automated workflow.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a quick introduction to hosts. Then, we'll cover adding a new host, configuring those host details, managing your existing hosts, and finally, actually connecting to your server.
All right, part 1, Introduction to Hosts.
So, what exactly is a host in SSH Bridge? Basically, it's just a saved server connection. Normally, getting into a machine means opening up a terminal and typing out some long command like SSH root at whatever IP address over and over again. By defining a host, you save those details exactly once. And the best part? It allows you to connect instantly whenever you need without all that repetitive typing. Check this out. Instead of a blank, intimidating terminal, you get this really nice visual dashboard. Every single card you see here in the host grid represents a completely different machine. It could be a macOS device, a new Ubuntu web server, an NEN server, whatever you've got. It's all right there, perfectly organized and ready for instant access.
Moving right along to section 2, adding a new host.
Getting a new server set up in the app is incredibly straightforward. Taking a bird's eye view, it's essentially just a 4-click process. First, you navigate over to the Host section in the left sidebar. Second, click Add Host up in the header. Third, fill in the specific details for your server. And fourth, click Create. That's literally it. Your server is now saved into your dashboard.
To kick things off, getting started is as simple as clicking the little plus icon right up there in the top right header of the Host section. From the drop-down menu, you just select Add Host, and that launches the whole creation process.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how incredibly clean the data entry form is for a new host. There's no clutter, no overwhelming walls of text. It's just simple, intuitive drop-downs and text fields asking for exactly what's needed to establish a connection. Super user-friendly.
Which brings us to Section 3, Configuring Host Details. Let's deep dive into what actually goes into that blank form we just saw. There are just a few essential fields you need to fill out. First up is the label. This is literally just a display name, so make it something you'll instantly recognize, like production server or client VPS. Next is the hostname or IP address of the actual machine, then the username you use to log in, and finally, the port. Now, by default, SSH uses port 22. You can think of that as the standard secure doorway, and the app just fills that in for you automatically. But if your server uses a custom port for extra security, you can easily tweak it right there. Next, you have to choose an auth type, which is just how the server knows it's actually you. You can select password authentication for standard server logins, or SSH key authentication if you're using a secure key file that you've already added. And here's a really great pro tip. If you leave these credentials blank during setup, no worries. The app will simply prompt you for them the exact moment you try to connect, and you can even choose to save them right then and there.
All right, Section 4, Managing Existing Hosts.
Look, we all know server details change all the time. IP addresses migrate, usernames get updated. But if you need to make a change, you don't have to start from scratch. As you can see here, you just jump back into the host, seamlessly update those details right in the interface, and hit Save. Easy. And accessing these management features, it's literally just a simple right-click away. Just right-click on any of your saved hosts in the grid, and a context menu pops right up. You can hit Edit to tweak the details, or you can select Delete. And honestly, if you no longer need a host, deleting it is highly recommended. It keeps your whole environment completely focused, clean, and showing only the infrastructure you actively use. Now, as your infrastructure scales up and you get more and more servers, organization is absolutely critical. SSH Bridge lets you create distinct groups, say putting all your production servers together, and assign them specific visual color codes. Grouping and color coding is a fantastic best practice. It means you can instantly recognize exactly the servers you need at a mere glance.
And finally, Section 5, Connecting to your server, the really fun part.
To actually initiate a session, you can just double-click a host card or right-click it and select SSH Connect. When you do that, SSH Bridge gives you this really sleek little prompt asking which workspace should house the new session.
You just confirm your workspace, hit open, and the application immediately uses your saved details to launch the connection.
And there it is, the payoff, a live, securely connected SSH terminal running right inside SSH Bridge. The real magic here is that once this initial setup is done, you are literally never typing those connection strings again. You get full terminal access, and your entire infrastructure is genuinely just one click away.
Which leaves us with a pretty exciting question to wrap things up on. Now that your servers are totally organized, secured, and literally just a click away, what are you going to build with all the time you save? Managing your hosts in SSH Bridge really is that simple, and it's that powerful. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I absolutely encourage you to open up your own workspace, add your first few hosts, and just experience firsthand how streamlined your workflow can become. See you next time.